The next speaker is Mr. Wagner.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and City Council. It's always a pleasure to speak to this all-American, all-Republican City Council. I happen to notice that the Measure W thing did not pass or fail by a great margin. In fact, if you take 0.6% of the vote from one side of the column and put it on the other side of the column, Measure W would have passed, and we would have spared our children brain damage caused by the industrial waste you will now be placing into our drinking water. I don't think there's any pride, any good thing. But Hector Gonzalez, who got the money to run while he works for a government agency, also got employed to push this thing. And I noticed that the pro-safe water people spent less than $3,000, where the anti-safe water, the pro-get rid of our dirty pollution in your drinking water people, spent more than $30,000 in just 2 weeks. Not a surprise that Measure W did not pass when you're outspent 50-1. Also notice that public access shows were suddenly taken from 4 times a week, carrying down to 2 times a week to limit the number of times the truth got out. So I guess I should praise you for standing up to poison our children. They will now be brain damaged, have permanent genetic damage to their genes. Elderly people will have more hip fractures because of the fluoridated water. And you stand there proudly to take all the credit for that. And by golly, I certainly wouldn't want to disagree with Hector and take any of the credit for poisoning our citizens. I spoke to a physician just the other day with 40 years of practice. He said every study he saw said that after the age of 4, putting fluoride into the body does nothing good for children or adults. So after the age of 4, you're just poisoning people. But I disagree that even up to 4, it does any good. And all the studies, the Canadian Dental President of the Canadian Dental Association said fluoride is a poison, is a poison, is a poison. That's why when you brush it on, it kills bacteria. But when you ingest it, it does damage to your liver, your brain, your genetics, and you guys get all the credit for that. Lastly, I want to thank you all. Since the last time I asked you to pass a resolution deploring this unconstitutional war in Iraq, there are now over 1,000 dead GIs. When I asked you to pass that resolution, which 200 communities have, you ignored that. There was only 500 dead GIs. Now, thanks to you, there's over 1,000. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner.
What I am going to do is take staff's recommendation that this is for the best of the city of Santa Maria. So all I got to do is tell you, I read it, but I have to admit, I'm not an engineer, and I don't know what some of that means. Take staff's recommendation. 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 Take staff's recommendation.